Hi, my name's Danny. Growing up, I always found it really important to be at the center of attention. I craved fame and popularity. At the age of 21, I found myself right in the middle of the fashion industry, well-known, rising young star, as a head designer for major corporations. I was making a lot of money for my age, and it prompted me to get involved with drugs and alcohol, and that followed me around for the next 2 decades. Then when I hit 28 years old, I was discovered by MTV, and they brought me out to Asia to be the face of their channel. Before I knew it, I was on camera to over 200 million households in over half the world. I formed a band while I was at MTV, and we got pretty popular pretty fast. Wound up playing large venues, concert halls, and arenas all throughout Asia. And it was during one of these shows when the crowd was chanting my name that I realized just how empty I was feeling inside. I don't think your ego is meant to take so much attention. In fact, I was in ego overload, and it was crushing me. I decided to go behind the camera because that industry I knew. I started producing TV shows that went to multiple countries and picked up by major television distribution companies. And before I knew it, the press wanted to interview me instead of the actors I hired for the show, so there I was again. You know, most people probably looked at me with envy, but they didn't know what was going on inside. I felt more alone than I've ever felt before, and the more recognition I got, the more that loneliness and emptiness compounded. In fact, I descended into a self-pitying, self-loathing sort of state of mind. With the self-pity and the self-loathing came a sense of self-destruction. I started making decisions that I knew were bad for me and they were going to destroy me, but I made them anyways because I just stopped caring. And when you stop caring, it's like you stop breathing. So I guess it's about 10 years ago now, I drew back on my Sunday school teachings when I was a kid and I started praying. I actually started praying for death. That just didn't happen. So my next step was to pray to God for forgiveness. You know, I probably prayed at various times in my life, but I've always prayed for miracles. But when I started praying for God's forgiveness, then, well, miracles actually started happening. First of all, my appetite for drugs, without any rehab or any intervention, just went away. I stopped doing them. And He inserted in its place a desire to know Him more through the gospel. And the miracles kept coming. I didn't want to get married, and God brought me a woman that I fell in love with, and we got married. My wife was diagnosed as being unable to bear children. And then through God's miracles, a week later, she became pregnant. I was choked with fear sitting in the hospital room with my wife, and not just the normal apprehension of a father about to be, but I realized with all the things that had happened in my life and what I'd made of those chances, that my biggest fear was of me. So I ran out into the hallway, I fell to my knees and I prayed to Jesus, and He at that point revealed Himself to me, and my eyes were opened. And then I put all my trust in Him. The burden was no longer on me. I could lean on Him. Now I'm a miracle in progress. I mean, I went from a stony heart, arrogant, full of anger, huge ego, self-important, and now Jesus has changed me where I put others before myself. And I've been clean for 10 years now, and I don't miss it at all. You know, I used to have these great parties where I was a center of attention, and they always ended in despair. But now, through Mission Church, we have great parties where Jesus is the center of attention, and those parties never end. And sometimes, when I climb into bed at night, I think back to the emptiness I felt in that last concert with the cheering crowds. And I reach over and turn the light off, and those memories fade because I'm no longer famous, but I'm no longer empty, filled with the peace and presence and joy that is God. This is my story of life with Jesus.